Gaining 20 pounds with an Anadrol cycle. If you have been wondering how to run a clean Anadrol cycle while minimizing the side effects, then this brief guide will show you the basics. What is the right Anadrol dosage? There's no one size fits all. You might react very differently to Adrol than us. For us, it's a terrific compound, but we have a general feeling of malaise all through the cycle. Also, even a milligram above 50 milligrams per day makes us BP shoot off into orbit. The nosebleeds follow soon after. We prefer D-bol over Anadrol any day. All said and done, start with the lowest possible dose, which in this case is 25 milligrams per day. That's a dose as good as any. Watch out for two things. BP. You'll notice the signs of high blood pressure very early if you are susceptible to it. The headaches will be unbearable. You'll start to hold a lot of water, and in extreme cases, it will give you very bad nosebleeds. The only way to be sure is to keep a BP monitor and keep checking it at different times during the day. If the blood pressure spikes are crazy, reduce the dose. Gyno. Anadrol does not aromatize nor does it have a progestin nature, but it can cause gyno, and conventional ancillaries like aromatase inhibitors don't work with it. You'll have to use Ralox to control the gyno, but there's a risk that your estrogen levels will crash pretty bad, which can be counterintuitive. Hence, it's always better to start with a low dose. If you can tolerate the 25 milligrams per day dose with no problems, bump it up to 50 milligrams per day for the next cycle. We wouldn't recommend going beyond 50 milligrams per day, but if you want to try it, just for kicks, go for 75 milligrams per day in future cycles. Solo versus stacks. Anadrol is definitely a compound that you can run solo and make decent gains with. But for the purpose of every anabolic steroid cycle should be to make near permanent gains that can be retained when you come off the compounds. If you use Anadrol solo, chances are that you'll lose most of what you'll gain. You can run it with testosterone as a base, but that will be two compounds that can make you hold water. You better watch out for BP sides. Some people run it with low dose test and a mid-level dose of trenbolone, which can produce some crazy results. It goes without saying that you should not even be attempting this cycle unless you have a couple of years of AAS experience at least. Diet and ancillaries. It is highly recommended that you cut down on your carb intake. Nothing too extreme, but just limit the amount of carbs you consume if you are looking for dry gains. Tsudka at 500 milligrams every day should suffice for liver support. You'll most likely need Ralox to prevent the estrogenic sides, but you'll want to watch the dose to ensure that you don't crash your E2 completely.